Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Zachariah Renfro, and today we're going to talk a little bit about AI and accountancy. We're going to talk about how AI is going to affect the accounting field as a whole, and we are going to talk about the rise in agentic AI. So these are what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about some articles that were provided to me. We're going to talk about the idea of job extinction, and we're going to talk about how AI is going to affect me personally. So the first of the articles, and these will kind of go through a timeline. The first of the articles is by Oliver and describes in 2023 how AI is going to grow in prominence. And what he predicts, and this is 2 years ago, is that AI is going to start doing much of the work of lower level accountants. We see that carried through in 2024 when Thomson Reuters on their blog started talking about how a lot of accounting firms are slow to use AI, but the Big Four had already started developing it within their in-house systems. They were creating accounting specific AIs that could do things like write reports and do research as well as assist with the audit function. Sahota says that accounting firms are going to start using a model of hybrid intelligence where you've got CPAs being supported by AI as a man and machine hybrid, and he predicts it's going to lead to accountants being viewed more as strategic partners rather than just individual practitioners, which, it is a nice view. But I think this next article from Thomson Reuters kind of puts a cramp in that, which is the rise of agentic AI. So Reuters, and this post in their blog was really more of an advertisement for their co-counselor tax and audit system. But Reuters argues that agentic AI is the next step and that it is going to be able to do the work of even high level accountants. And, it sells it in the form of an advisor to an accountant. But if it is already getting to the point where it is advising senior accountants, then it won't be very long until it's doing a lot of their work completely. Once agentic AI gets up to a certain point, we might see the elimination of the accounting function from a lot of large corporations. Then that doesn't mean that accounting as a field will disappear, but what it does mean is that it will be so highly automated that you might have, for a Fortune 500 company, one or two accountants who mostly just make sure that the AI system is functioning properly. So what does this mean? Well, Vandehei and Allen talk about this idea of job extinction. They say that between 50 and 70% of white collar jobs can be easily replaced by AI, and that this is going to eliminate a lot of entry level roles and constrict job prospects for college graduates. This is a kind of job extinction that we've not really seen, at least in modern times. We're talking about people, college educated people who've dedicated their lives to certain fields, suddenly being obliterated by AI. And that people will argue that, AI is not as good at certain things, it can't think creatively, but most businesses don't care about that. Business as a field is not seeking perfection. It's not seeking the highest and most perfect. It's just seeking get it done good enough. So what we're probably going to see is a further flattening of corporate hierarchies and a further elimination of many administrative and managerial roles, as well as many roles for accountants. So what we might see is a situation where, at least for the short term, you still have CPAs and you still have senior accountants, but the pathway for people to get into that is eliminated. Junior accountants are gone, interns are gone, and you think, well, how could they do that? Well, mentioned in the previous articles, even starting all the way back with Oliver in 23, there's a lot of discussion about how ChatGPT, even in 2023, was as capable as an intern or as a junior accountant. So now we see the rise of agential AI, and we see custom tailored AIs built by the Big Four and built by Sage and built by a lot of these other organizations. When we see that, what we're going to get is a further elimination of jobs in the name of productivity. So what will happen is that the CPAs that are left who are being augmented by the AI will be much more productive, but at what cost? Suddenly you'll have a huge group of people who are unemployed or have skills that they aren't able to use. With all that being said, what do I think is going to happen? How do I think AI will affect my career? Honestly, I am not super hopeful. I think that over the next 15 years, pretty much any job that requires a computer to use will probably be done by AI or mostly done by AI. So, how's that going to impact me? Well, I think that it's going to have a very hard outcome for my career. And, when I think about my life in general, there's a lot of times I wish that, I was already an old man and that I was already, in retirement right now, because I've spent my whole life developing a lot of white collar skills related to business and related to computing and all that. And now I'm suddenly finding that all those skills are useless because AI can do it faster, cheaper, and in a lot of cases better. What can I do to prepare? That's uncertain. It's uncertain what the future is going to look like, and it's uncertain how I can, eliminate fears of AI replacement. I know right now the biggest thing I try and do is just avoid AI addiction. It is so easy to fall into an addictive trap with AI, and this is something that I've written and published about, is that we're seeing a lot of studies that are showing that AI in many cases can be as addictive as Facebook, and it can cripple a person's critical thinking as if they'd gotten a traumatic brain injury, right? So we have got to, as a race of human beings, we've got to avoid that. In particular, I am taking accounting classes and working towards my CPA license, but a lot of that is just due to the fact that the university where I'm working is talking about eliminating the philosophy department, which I teach in, right? So I'm a college professor at another university, but if that department's eliminated, I'm out of a job. So I've got to try and pivot into some other form of academia, which, hopefully I can teach in. So that's my plan for the future, and that's what I'm doing. But if AI and agential AI continues to grow how it is, accounting may not be a safe field to teach in either. If it is the worst case scenario, like what I imagine it will be, it very well could be the situation that I get my CPA license and get my master's in accounting only to find out that accounting is one of those fields getting cut out by the university as well due to low enrollment. So these are the things we covered. We talked about current articles on AI. We talked about my predictions for AI and job displacement, and we talked about how AI is going to affect me. I think that we're in for a wild ride for the future. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a good one. In some ways, I think the best case scenario might be some kind of situation that eliminates AI, some kind of Terminator style war where AI and computing is set back 50 years. And you might think, well, that sounds crazy, but we are running the risk of either ending in a situation where the AI is going to destroy us, such as Terminator, or we're going to destroy ourselves with the help of AI in a situation similar to WALL-E, where we're all fat and lazy and incompetent and unable to survive. And both of those situations are equally dissatisfying. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.